Hey guys, Trent from Local Pest Experts. Just heading off to work actually, and as I left my front door, as fate would have it, I had a little subject here for a Wednesday waffle. So this little guy here, Periplaneta australasiae, the Australian cockroach. You can tell that by, it's got this bright yellow band around it, but it's also got these striking yellow markings at the front of those forewings. Fast moving will even scare me. He's not in real good nick, obviously. He's just sitting there nice and slow, so that's good news. It means my treatment's working. But it also, knowing this cockroach, it also is no reason for me to have concern. One of the things that we know about the Australian cockroach is that they're an outdoor pest. They love the outdoors. When we're training trainees, I usually explain it that Australians are outdoorsy folks. We like to go camping, we like to be in the bush, and that's the same as these guys, right? You can see, actually, as it's moving, it's dragging those back legs and stuff. That is a very strong indication of synthetic pyrethroid toxicity. So it's not very long and it's fallen now. And that poor little cockroach won't be alive anymore. But the point I was trying to make is knowing the pest gives us a good indication as to what's happening, right? And we know that they like to eat decaying organic matter, vegetable matter, that sort of stuff. So they like to live in the bush. And what that means is they also have a fairly strong requirement for high humidity. And so when they get inside a structure, they often won't be able to survive, those guys. So they look very similar to the American cockroach, Periplaneta americanus. And those guys certainly will survive inside. They breed really quickly. They have long lives. They have lots of egg cases, up to 50 egg cases per adult. So you can get huge populations of them inside. And like I said, when we're telling a trainee or when we're teaching this sort of stuff to our new guys, I like to say that the Australian cockroach is an outdoorsy cockroach. They like to be camping, like to be out in the bush, like an Aussie. And the American cockroach, they like subfloors, they like greasy environments, think New York City subway sort of stuff. So they're the guys that are living in the sewer systems, up in your roof void, under your subfloor, in larger cavities through your house, wall cavities, that sort of stuff. But again, the Australian cockroach, this guy, right, yellow markings on those forewings, an enemy of that summer barbecue, because these guys, because they like it outside, and when you got your lights on, and you might scare them a little bit, they'll be flying. And once those wings come out, they look like a helicopter. They're a huge animal, 35, 40 odd millimeters long. Point being, knowing the cockroach helps us a lot in determining what's happening. Often, obviously, we get called back for warranty calls for stuff like this. If we can see what's happening, it'll allow us to understand what we need to do, or if anything. Because obviously, if we did come back for a warranty call, for one, I could say that this guy's under a fair bit of duress. He's not going to last much longer since the treatment's effective. But it also would indicate to me that maybe the population's out living in a garden such as this retainer, because this would be a perfect living and breeding environment. All this sort of dense decaying organic matter is exactly the sort of place that he'd be living. So I'd be wanting to come out here, maybe do some residual treatment around the edges here, just to make sure that can't sustain or survive out here, and just annoy the homeowner. Anyway, Wednesday waffle.